in the Sharknado movies. So she understands.
Okay. She knew it was like a joke. Right.
Oh, she was totally in on this.
She was
all
in
right. Let's roll.
Okay. All right. Everything is rolling. Everything's rolling. So? Let me look at the. All right. Here we go.
Yeah. No, I totally hear it. Here it is now, here we go with the Tara Show. Oh, so much truth to get to today. Hey, everybody, it's dynamite. I love truth so much. Hey, there's my partner, her name is Tara.
Tara Jr. is in the bedroom. He was getting annoying, so I had to get him out of here. But he's okay. He's sleeping. He's tired.
Well, you know. Hey, everybody. It's Tuesday, August the 5th, 2025. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Jim, for moderating whatever happens in the next hour. Who knows? But what I do know is there's so much to talk about, so much truth to tell. First and foremost, I did march on Saturday.
Yes.
At the Rage Against the Regime rally here. And they happened in all 50 states. And I don't think this one was as well advertised.
That's when when you told me about it, I hadn't heard about it, and then I thought, how many marches though? We're gonna get marched out a little here. You know, we really got to hold our powder. All right, well, you can tell me.
The next one's on Labor Day. The next one is on Labor Day. Everyone should be prepared for that because you get the day off regardless of what day of the week it is. There's going to be another one, and I spoke at the Portland rally. Mm-hmm. And it went very well. And they were so happy with me that they want me to speak again at the Labor Day.
Well, that's always a good sign that you did well.
It is. And they want me to go last because on Saturday I was the penultimate speaker. I tried to be the closer, but the guy who was the closer was like really scared and nervous about public speaking.
Really? Why would they have somebody like that speak? That's weird.
I don't know.
Strange.
He had a great voice. He had a voice that was kind of like this.
Well, I mean, you don't have to give his name to embarrass him, but
I don't remember what his name was. I don't remember. But what I do remember is that there were many, many times where the organizers kind of went over to him like, you're nervous, but we would really like to have Tara go last. He goes, I'll go last. I'll go last.
He demanded. But ever have a beta blocker?
He was a young kid. He was like he was young. He was like 25 or something. And I went over to him and I was like, hey man, my speech is kind of short and punchy and powerful, and I think it'd be a little, and I hear that yours is a little bit longer, and maybe you can go before me. He goes, no, I'll be going last. And he had this very deep, like, announcer voice like this. And I got up there and I did my thing and I rallied people. And it wasn't the hugest of gatherings. It got better and better the later the day got, before we marched. And then we had we had a couple of thousand people in the streets, I want to say. But I did my thing and I was like, I got everybody like rallied and ready to go because I did a tight 5 rather than a meandering. And they were ready to go. And then this guy steps up and he's like, I'm going to read a very long speech in sort of an NPR announcer voice like this.
Nah, not good for a rally.
And everyone was kind of like, oh, this is anticlimactic.
Yeah. How did he go last? I mean, who organized that?
It wasn't about here's the thing about Portland is everybody here is very passive aggressive. I'm just aggressive. And I have learned to soften the edges when it merits. I felt like I know myself pretty well at this point, and I know I'm a good public speaker because I've done it many times.
It takes a skill,
many. And I come from the radio world, so I know how to hit my punch the points and get them out there and do the things. And I hit all of the things, and the reactions were where they were, and all of the things landed as they should. And then this guy comes up and sucks all of the energy that I created into a vortex. And so many people came up to me afterwards, like, you were great and you should have gone last. And you were great. And I remember you from the radio and you should have gone last. And I remember you and you were great and you should have gone last. And including one person who came up to me. Watch out, I'll be dropping a name here. Watch your feet. But Corin Tucker, who's in the band Sleater Kinney, who lives here in Portland, she came up to me afterwards. She was like, you were fantastic. How come they didn't have you last? I'm like, yeah, I know. So anyway, it was great and very gratifying, and that they want me back on Labor Day is delightful. So everyone should be in the streets because And you can see on my socials, especially my Instagram, I put all of the pictures. Portland's sign game. Mwah. Mwah. I can't even tell you. The sign game on point, as it always is at a Portland protest rally. It really doesn't even matter what they're protesting. Signs are amazing. And so and the point of the Rage Against the Regime rally are the things that we're still talking about right now. The Epstein files, of course, the ICE, abolish ICE, and all of the things that they're doing, and impeaching Trump. And today, as we prepared to go to do the Tower Show, Donald Trump thought the weather was so lovely in Washington, D.C. today that he decided to take a bit of a stroll on the roof of the White House.
Could you imagine if that was Biden? This is the problem. I can't take it. Really.
The diddler on the roof is what they're calling him already on Twitter. Thank you, Twitter, for showing up. Sometimes the internet it remains unparalleled.
What's he doing up there? I'm just trying to find it.
He just, the press pool is waiting for him where they normally are.
Loser.
Or normally wait for him on the press line as and then there he is on the roof
wait, what's he saying? Let me see.
He's yelling at clouds like Grandpa Simpson. He just felt like taking a walk.
It won't play.
Do that on the ground, dumbass.
On the roof of the White House, he's taking questions.
He's taking questions from the roof.
That he can't hear because he's deaf as a post.
I can't even hear it. Yeah, diddler
he's
on
not
the roof.
Mic'd. All of a sudden, then the
you.
Secret Service show. Secret Service lost track of wandering Paul.
Right. What are you building? Oh my God. Are you considering more renovation, sir?
That's
Fuck you, sir.
Fucking house, by the way.
Really, you piece of shit. Right, he's like, who is he? Queen fucking Victoria over here?
The roof?
Oh my God.
What if he wandered away from his Secret Service detail and they found him on the roof? Do you understand how abnormal
That's like my father had Alzheimer's, so this kind of hitting close to home. Yeah, and we would find him wandering in the garage in the middle of the night, this is
Do you think he opened a door? I wonder where this one goes. Ooh, steps. Where did these go?
The roof. Oh, shit. Someone's ringing my bell. Hold on. I know.
All right, kids. While she tends, you need to put a sign on your door that says, do not disturb podcasting live like I do, like anyone's going to come to my door. But anyway, my point being, kids, in the chat, hi, thank you for being here, by the way. I appreciate you all the time. This is so abnormal. A delivery.
I have a prescription. No, it's called Capsule. It's a great thing if you guys get prescriptions and they use.
Maybe we could get Capsule to sponsor the Tower Show because they deliver
right to your door. They're great. I'm telling you, it's great.
Shut-ins. It's perfect for shut-ins like us who work from home. Anyway, do I have to tell you how fully abnormal it is to wander away from your Secret Service detail? Like imagine Secret Service where he was just here. Where'd he go? What happened? Paw. Anybody seen Paw? Who's got eyes? They need to put a low jack on him because I'm telling you, he wandered away, and it was one of those. It was a Spinal Tap moment. Where do these stairs go? They go up. Oh no, that's Ghostbusters. Sorry. Where do these stairs go? They go up. So he went up the stair. I guarantee what is he doing up there? He's probably never been on the roof. He didn't know where the door went, and this is so abnormal. The diddler on the roof. It also, me being the person that I am with the mental jukebox that I've got, I thought of the Drifter song, Up on the Roof. And I tweeted some of the lyrics because they're so perfect for sundowning Paw and him doing this wandering away. I'm going to pull it up on my profile on Twitter because I can't remember all of the words because it's from a long time. Okay. When this old world starts getting me down and people are just too much for me to face.
That's lovely.
The roof, I climb way up to the top of the stairs.
Have you been singing the whole time?
No, I just started. And all my cares just drift right into space. And then it goes, on the roof, it's peaceful as can be. And there the world below can't bother me. He's crazy going nuts, this guy. He's lost it. He's gone.
I mean,
where's the 25th Amendment?
Better?
Seriously.
Really?
You know, the press is just calling up to him like it's
Sir.
normal. And then all the MAGA influencers are like, look at our guy. He's unparalleled. Look at him. He's amazing. No one can touch this guy.
He does it all. Let's see. What does he say? Oh, no, same shit. Nothing.
So embarrassing.
I thought I was going to hear
He's
them.
He's hiding the Epstein files up there.
That's what they should be shouting at him instead of, "Sir, are you planning more renovations? Go fuck yourself."
I'm gonna put a toilet up here so everyone can watch me shit all over democracy.
Yes.
That's all that's missing from this is him flinging his loaded diaper from the roof up there because they couldn't give a fuck about our democracy, our future, our well-being. That guy is all over the Epstein files and will do anything he can to get us to stop talking about it. But everything he does just makes us talk about the Epstein files even more. Because again, if Joe Biden did this would dominate the news cycle for 3 months.
Look at this asshole. There's nobody like him. Nobody like Donald Trump. Well,
Thank
you can't
fuck,
see it.
because once we're rid of him, there won't be another one.
Please make it stop. It's
taking
just
questions.
Thank God I got my blood pressure prescription. Really, that's what it's like. I take high blood pressure medicine. I can't fucking take it.
I have naturally low blood pressure, but this would get it going. This would get it going. So here's what we do. We use this to humiliate MAGA every chance we get. Because if Joe Biden did this, we would see nothing but that.
They would be exactly because they would say, "What? Why isn't he working? What is he doing on the roof?" There are people.
How did he get there?
Right, like
did
what
he
is
wander
he?
Away?
We didn't hire him to be the renovator. He's not. This isn't like queer is what is that? The queer guy, not queer as folk. Queer eye for the straight guy or whatever.
This is if Joe Biden did this. They'd be like, well, at least he's not in his basement.
Right.
What is so abnormal? So
Look at
abnormal.
This. I personally don't like him up there. Really? Why? Like, you don't?
Fall down?
Like, what's going to happen?
Hillary.
The baby's going to go fall down and boom, boom himself?
Watch out. No, the one behind it. Underneath. He should watch out for Hillary. This is precisely the sort of opportunity you hope for.
Oh, fuck unreal. You all
unreal.
Suck.
Hey, by the way, this is a perfect transition into the fuckery that Comer is trying to do today. Tell me that you don't want us to talk about the Epstein files by trying to relitigate 2016. Really? You're sending out subpoenas to Hillary and Bill and James Comey and Jeff Sessions. You're trying to you want to relitigate 2016 in 2025 because you want us to stop talking about how Donald Trump raped little girls with Jeffrey Epstein starting in the 1980s. Make it make sense.
Yes.
Make it make sense.
I love Steven on the chat.
The weakest cover-up. What's that?
Steven on the chat says, I like Trump on TV. It means he's not raping kids.
Right.
There is an upside.
Yeah, sure. If he's on the roof, he can't be raping somebody in a hotel room. Okay. Well, there's
look at
talking
the bright
points.
side.
But again, here is when we absolutely need to do the things that the people we've been talking to on the Tara Show are telling us to do. Like when Sherry Jacobus was like, newsjacking. We have to be newsjacking, and she's absolutely right. And I talked about this yesterday also with Hal, in that when we see something blatant like this and they're trying to be like, oh, that's cool. No, it isn't. It is not, and it's not. And this is incredibly embarrassing.
That's so true.
For the MAGA cult. This is an embarrassment. This is another example of him. His brain is oatmeal full of flies.
Because he doesn't want to work. That's what it's about.
He never does.
No.
He never works. Come on. But this Comer thing, this House oversight thing, we're going to get to the bottom of the 2016 Russian interference.
Really?
Okay, why don't you ask... Why don't you ask Marco Rubio about the other time you got to the bottom of it? And Marco Rubio led the committee and did find that there was Russian interference in the 2016 election that benefited Trump, you dumb fuck. If Hillary Clinton cheated in 2016 in any way, she would have won the electoral college by a landslide, like she won the popular vote, you goddamn morons. It makes me so angry. It makes my teeth itch. It makes me so angry because it's so obvious. Democrats don't cheat to win.
No.
Redistricting
This is
Texas
the problem.
people.
Right.
Texas
well,
Republicans.
That's
Texas,
the problem.
What the fuck?
Yes, well, this is what we're up against because I was looking it up when, they started doing this bullshit with Texas and how can the Democrats fight fire with fire. And I'm glad to hear them talking about it. But the fact is, in the blue states, here's the problem. We have made elections fair in the blue states.
Oh, how dare we do that?
Yes, there are nonpartisan commissions and that don't gerrymander these districts. They do it fairly and squarely on basis of the census, as it should be. And so in order to do something like what they're doing in Texas, and it's just so telling that Texas doesn't run like that, because they're that devious. They're not trying to make elections fair. So,
of course they're not.
Right. So there has to be a process.
Cruz,
exactly. The process in New York and in California. I don't know if they'll be able to do fight fire with fire before the 2028 midterms and the 2026 so this is the problem, and the only real hope we have is to tie it up in the courts, which we hope would make it not take effect until we can do something similar. And that's because Democrats have been fighting with one hand tied behind their backs, our backs, I should say, for far too long.
Frustrating. Mm-hmm. Right, exactly, and you're going to issue arrest warrant. You want the Democrats to come back so you can hold this vote of complete insanity. But if the Democrats come back, you're threatening to arrest them now.
Right.
So what are they supposed to do? What are Texas Democrats supposed to do? I say every single sanctuary state should just continue to take turns hosting the Texas Democrats.
Yeah. They need to stay away.
They're hanging out.
Right.
They're hanging out in Chicago right now. I feel pretty good about inviting them to Portland. Come hang out in Portland. You can come to Low Bar Corral with us. Come sing. We have a Low Bar Corral next Tuesday. Come sing with us and hang out and get some donuts and beer and maybe some kombucha. Hang out in Portland for a little bit and then go down to California and just hang out. Come hang out. Maybe even or go up to Seattle. Just come take advantage of the whole blue wall here on the West Coast. Come on over because blue states they're going to be the only livable states if we keep going like this.
Well, they already are, and
I know
it's
only
going to get worse. Yeah, it is getting worse and will get worse, and that's why I don't understand. This is why Democrats, what we do and what other independent media people do is so important because we got to get the word out. If we're not out there pulling their covers every single day, they're going to get away with it.
Right.
So,
which is why we got to be on top of stuff, and we have to humiliate them every chance we get, and we have to remind them that they are cheating pieces of shit covering for a pedophile.
Well, they have no shame. That's it.
None shame. And as our friend Hal Sparks has said repeatedly, you can't shame Trump, but you can embarrass him. So he's very embarrassed by this whole Epstein files thing. He has not been able to make it go away, regardless of everything he has tried. He has tried every possible tactic he could think of, including moving Ghislaine Maxwell to basically a mall in Texas.
But that in itself, it screams guilt. He's guilty.
Correct.
Why would you do that?
Correct.
Why? There's no reason to pull a convicted pedophile out of the prison system and put her in Club Fed, where she's not even qualified to be. You can't be a sex offender.
She's not supposed to be there. They're not supposed. Exactly. And her fellow inmates there are complaining that she's there.
Yeah, it's an offense.
And don't shed any tears for Ghislaine Maxwell because she was bullied in her Florida prison. They called her a snitch. Prisoners don't like it when people, because she was going to go. She was going to snitch on certain details to help Trump, right? To try to make Democrats look worse than Trump. That's a snitch. Somebody who's willing to talk to the man.
Well, I'm surprised.
Get themselves off
but
the
they're
hook.
not. they're not.
Also, rapists are not.
Well, that's what I
popular
was going to say. Why would they have any? Be kind to her in any way? She's she's
sure
the worst
she
of the worst of a female.
I'm sure she wasn't. I'm sure she wasn't getting along with the other girls because she couldn't manipulate and sex traffic them. So
right.
I'm sure she was already, and I'm sure she was already, ostracized. Unless there was another female rapist for her to hang out with. I'm assuming she spent a lot of time alone, and she's going to continue to be ostracized. Really. Yeah. I mean, it is fortunately, but I mean, she's going to continue to be ostracized wherever she goes, and regardless of where she goes, she's still a sex trafficking, rapist, pedophile, just like Epstein and Trump, and she has been described as being even worse than the two of them by several of their victims.
Oh, totally.
So, totally. And these are the things that we continue to have to remind people. So today, when James Comer tweeted his bullshit about Hillary Clinton and the Democrats in 2016, I called the House Oversight. By the way, when you want to call James Comer and you don't live in Kentucky and press 1, it just sends you to the House Oversight because he's a coward. So next time I might press 2 and just pretend I live in Kentucky
you gotta get a zip code. You just look up a zip code.
Sure. I mean, if it works for Josh Hawley, who uses his sister's zip code, because he doesn't live in Missouri, it's fine.
When you call, they'll ask a zip code. You say, well, I live blah, 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 and that's it. And
I live in da-da-da-da-da-da. Anyway, the question being, why are you doing this? And of course, people who answer their phones are just people who answer the phone, and they are not qualified to answer your question. They can be rude to you. They can be obnoxious to you. They can hang up on you. Nancy Mace's staff comes to mind. But instead, I just emailed. And Nancy Mace has a brand new comms director because her last MAGA Mean Girl comms director quit. That's how bad Nancy Mace is. She had a MAGA Mean Girl who was just as bad as her, but she quit. Nancy Mace, by the way, if you're not following Nancy Mace, and why would you? She has now announced that she's running for governor of South Carolina. And today, if you want to pull up her Twitter, she tweeted about an illegal alien raping and raping a child, and said that you don't raping a child is never tolerable. And it's
except if it's Trump.
Except if Trump does it, because she's chasing his clout for an endorsement. And so every day, I have the intention to share with her my recording of Katie Johnson's testimony and remind her that not only is she okay with Donald Trump being a rapist pedophile, she's fine with Donald Trump letting international sex trafficking rapist pedophile brothers Andrew and Tristan Tate back in the United States.
Firebrand.
She's okay with that. Oh, are we frozen?
No.
I feel like we might be frozen here. I don't hear you anymore.
Oh, really?
There we are.
You don't
hear?
We're back. I mean, you were fine. You were, and
I don't know. Maybe it's just weird technical slowness on my.
Yeah.
Maybe it's me. But anyway, she's the worst.
Fuck her. Look at her with the gun.
She's the worst.
I could shoot a gun.
I was the first female graduate of the Citadel. Big fucking deal. You should get your diploma rescinded because you love rapists who rape children. And she claims to be a rape survivor, and we always believe women, right? We went through Me Too together, and it's a sisterhood and whatnot, but it makes me question whatever she has said in the past, because look at her chasing this clout.
Thumbs up.
She is chasing
you're a traitor.
She is chasing the clout of a pedophile rapist. You want a pedophile rapist's endorsement. That's what you're standing. You are going after that. It makes me sick to my stomach. It makes me actually nauseous because she loves these pedophile rapists. She loves, there's a picture of her with Andrew Tate at Mar-a-Lago, right? Or her and Andrew Tate are in a picture somewhere together.
That's
the crazy
the stuff
Photoshop.
Of nightmares. Yeah.
I appreciate it when Twitter shows up to tell the truth about Nancy Mace. But she's awful. And you might remember.
Her average donation is $22.
Who's stupid enough to give her money? Well, she's trying. The message is: average people are giving me money, not billionaires. The average.
That's a Swiftie number. I know Swifties aren't giving $22 to Nancy Mace, but this just is another example of her hypocrisy.
How do you like my new header?
Oh, fuck you. That's how I like it.
There are so many inappropriate and wrong things I want to say to her, but they would come across as violent threats if I said them, so I'm not going to. But what I do know is that Nancy Mace is one of the worst kinds of human beings, very, very much like Ghislaine Maxwell, in that she's a female misogynist. And she hates women. She has no girlfriends. I'm pretty positive that she has no girlfriends. You never see her standing with Marjorie or Lauren, even though she's in there.
Yeah,
maybe at the beginning, but not anymore.
When Lauren Boebert was bullying, who's the trans member of Congress? Her name is escaping me now.
Sarah McBride.
Yes, she thought that Sarah McBride was in the ladies' room, and then Lauren Boebert ran out to get Nancy Mace to come back into the ladies' room and help bully whoever it was. It wasn't Sarah McBride. But this is who they are. Like, and then, could you imagine that scene? She runs out, Nancy, get in here, and they both run into the bathroom. It's like right out of high school, like a couple of high school bullies to go and harass somebody. I'm not even high school. You're right. Mm-hmm.
Now, the tweet you have up on the screen, Nancy Mace for governor has great genes. This bullshit, manufactured bullshit with the Sydney Sweeney ad. Let me just say, I get what you're trying to do, MAGA. I see you trying to manufacture a manufactured outrage from the left that doesn't exist. You want to pretend that you're not doing this on purpose. Wah. These are the same people who got triggered over Dylan Mulvaney drinking a beer. Okay?
Exactly.
And for a fucking year we had to hear about Dylan Mulvaney and Bud Light, right? And these fucking people who are so fragile. Yeah, this great genes, this Sydney Sweeney thing. Can I just tell you, I didn't get what they were talking. I'm like, I know she's annoying and bland and boring as far as I'm concerned.
And what's the controversy?
The controversy is she did an ad for American Eagle where she's photoshopped, like she's boobalicious and she's laying there. And the rumor mill had been that she's MAGA. And we didn't have any proof. Like she had some party for her parent. Like her parents had a big anniversary party, and they all had red hats that said "Make something great again," but it wasn't America. But it was very Trumpy looking. And she was like, "We were just celebrating. It's fine." And it's like, feels a little trolly, Sydney. But whatever. I don't care because I don't care about you.
Well, she's a registered Republican. What is she?
We found out that she's registered in Florida. But see, she does this ad where she's basically wearing the Canadian tuxedo of a denim shirt and denim jeans, and she's laying back and her boobs are pushed up, and she's white and blonde and blue-eyed. And the tagline is, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, Jeans.
Oh, I see.
But of course, the eugenicists are like, that means that she loves being white. This is an ad for white supremacy. Whiteness is the best. American Eagle is a white brand. White, Nazi white supremacist whiteness. And there are apparently there are some people on the left who caught it and parsed it that way and then made it a thing so that MAGA can make fun of this handful of people who made it a thing. I don't care what she wears, what movie she acts in. It has very little to do with what's going on in Washington, which is exactly why MAGA blew it up, right? Here's their white queen. What the fuck ever. As far as I'm concerned, and I tweeted this, Sydney Sweeney's brand is white girl vocal fry while wearing bikinis. It's just like that glottal, like whatever. Like I cannot with that, right? Like that to me is not acting.
That's so. It's like a rake on a chalkboard. It's the worst. Yeah.
When you say Sydney Sweeney, all I can think of is her like just rolling her eyes. Like that's her whole thing is. And I don't care. She's very uninteresting as a performer, but for this moment,
she's boring.
They thought we were going to be distracted from the Epstein files by this another manufactured MAGA Michigas, and no. Because I don't care. It has nothing to do with the Epstein files. It has nothing to do with the fact that Donald Trump conspired to steal the 2024 election from Kamala Harris. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's cutting benefits and ending agencies. And
are you fucking kidding me?
Another delivery? How many drugs do you take, woman? Anyway, she's a sober human, by the way. I want everyone to know that she does not take drugs. That's not a dealer. That's coming. I was making a joke. Sorry. Capsule, though, maybe we should try to get them as a sponsor. Hey, if anybody out there knows a sponsor looking for an awesome podcast to sponsor, we're right here. Cats, single, home deliveries work. I love to stay home if there's a food delivery. I tried to get in touch with Factor, but they don't have a way for you to get in touch with them, which is weird because I would think that they would have that. But anyway, my point originally was that we don't fall for manufactured distractions because we're too smart. And so what we have to do, again, like we were saying earlier, just keep newsjacking. Anytime you see anybody who's tweeting something that has nothing to do with the things that matter to you, newsjack them and bring them back. So when Nancy Mace is tweeting her bullshit, I'm like, well, what does this have to do with Donald Trump raping little girls, you pedophile enabler? You don't have to do it the way I do. I'm just saying every act of resistance matters, democracy being an action word. So act. You're going to see this fuckery over and over again because Elon is still messing with the algorithm on Twitter. So, yeah, even with a blue check, you're not going to rise to the top. You're going to be suppressed. I might be speaking from my own experience, but the point being that you can't have... Richard in the chat says, American Eagle is going to find out real quick that MAGA doesn't wear American Eagle. I'm in the heart of MAGA in Texas, and I've never seen more Wranglers in my life. I mean, maybe American Eagle will get a little boost from this, or at least some website traffic. But is this really the way you want to get attention? Like negative attention like that and from the worst people? Is that how you want to sell your product? I don't think you do. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why... Like some people think that negative attention is acceptable. But like a person like Nancy Mace will thrive on negative attention and continue to thrive in that way because she's learned that negative attention at least gets her clicks above and beyond anything else. Hey, look who's back.
It's unreal. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Excuse my line. I'm cursing a lot today, aren't I? I'm just...
That's okay. We're mad.
I need my blood pressure medicine. It really is true. I could feel it in my stomach. I just feel this pit. Yeah. Like the knot in my stomach.
It's churning. It's the churning that you have to live with.
I can't handle it. Really, it's just the everything that's going on. Just the fact that we're living in an authoritarian state, and just I'm sure you heard about the Smithsonian, things like that. They
are not doing that. They put out a statement saying
they're backtracking.
I said that they should wait. Because there's going to be a third impeachment. They might as well wait until they have to update that too. Because there will be. Because here's the thing. And this is one of the things that when I was talking to people in the crowd on Saturday when we were marching, one of the things that, like, Congress can't stay recessed forever, Mike Johnson. So they are going to come back. And then there's that rule that Chuck Schumer found, is very, antiquated rule.
Yes.
Like the rule of 5.
Right.
And so they're supposedly releasing the Epstein files by force.
Wait, hold on.
By August 15th.
Oh, okay. It says House subpoenas DOJ to fork over the Epstein files. But, I mean, this is the other thing.
That's
when I
how
saw that
we're
with
gonna have
Chuck,
to do it.
yes, I saw that with Chuck Schumer, and I because I'm his, I'm not, I'm one of his constituents, but. And he also follows me on Twitter, which is interesting. He never responds. Yeah, he never responds to things I send him, but
that's okay. Neither does my senators who follow me.
Yeah, but I try to. Of course, I always try to be respectful when I am sending him something. I'm not like you fucking suck or whatever, but because you'll never get a response.
Chuck Schumer.
Yeah, but it's just when he said that there's this rule of 5, he released a video about it, and. It's not, to me, I thought, that's great, they're going to do it, but they will ignore it. They will not release it. He will just simply ignore it.
Why do we need them anyway? Why can't Democrats just release it?
Right, that's the other thing. This is what gets on my nerves, too, about Democrats. You want to fight fire with fire? Leak it. Leak it. Fucking leak it to the press.
You can't leak a lie. You can't leak a lie.
Just leak
That's
it.
Something that our friend Hal Sparks says over and over. Just leak it. I mean, you know where they are, right? I mean, Ron Wyden, my senator, Ron Wyden, has had access to thousands of pages from the Epstein files, and he recorded a 7-minute video about it, which is available right now on YouTube. And I have also shared it on my socials. But 7 minutes about the 3-year investigation into Trump's financial ties to the Epstein files and how it was all funded by Russian banks and in just one day. Just one of the 4,275 wire transfers, just one was for $1.1 billion between Jeffrey Epstein and one Russian bank. That seems worth investigating. The Trump administration doesn't think there's anything into it investigate. They're weird. But so
they're all traitors, yeah.
I mean, but one of the things that my Senator Ron Wyden says in this video is that they found thousands of names of girls who were trafficked.
Well, they're just nothing. They're trash. They are trash, as Ghislaine Maxwell said. Yeah, they are trash.
At the same time, I do want to make a clarifying statement about my Senator Ron Wyden, because on the one hand, he's doing so right with these Epstein files and holding the Trump administration accountable, doing so right by that. And at the same time, I am going to voice my frustration, and I hope we'll be able to get him on the podcast later this month so we can talk about it, because I want to have a real conversation about it. I'm an American Jew. My Senator Ron Wyden, also an American Jew, but he has taken over $1 million from AIPAC, and he voted against Bernie's resolution to stop arming Israel. And I'm not okay with that. I am not okay. I don't know what it is. If it's $1 million from AIPAC, that's not good enough, because Ron Wyden doesn't need their $1 million. He doesn't need it.
It has to be
enough money already.
Right.
So I would demand that all Democrats who are still taking any special interest money from AIPAC need to cut ties with AIPAC immediately.
Well, they need to stop doing. Well, here's the thing, and it's like everything else. One of the problems, I believe, and we talk about it all the time, is money in politics, and then of course it's the media. This is the problem why we're in this boat, and the Democrats can't fight with one hand tied behind their back too, of course, but it's just human to dance with the people who brought you to the party. If they're funding you, of course you're not. It's like anything. You don't want to upset your benefactors. That is just the way it is.
It is ridiculous, because you're supposed to be serving your constituents
right
first. You're supposed to, right? Like, I'm sorry, our tax dollars aren't enough, and they don't add up to $1 million
it's the problem.
in one lump sum for you. But if that is, Ron Wyden lives in Oregon. There's a Jewish population in Portland, but it is not an overwhelming Jewish population, because Jewish populations are not overwhelming anyone anywhere in the United States of America. There is no reason for him to be, quote unquote, protecting any of Israel's special interests in the state of Oregon, which was founded as a whites-only colony, by the way. So, that's why I like the First Amendment, because I can say thank you to Ron Wyden in full voice, with all of my heart behind it, saying thank you for what you're doing with the Epstein files. But then on the other hand, I do not care for this action that you took, or inaction. So I just want, because I have been getting some, not here, but I've been getting some messaging from some people, like, I don't see you holding Ron Wyden accountable for this vote, and I know that you're Jewish. So, and I got somebody trolling me about it on Insta.
I'm sorry. No, he's the top recipient of pro-Israel money from pro-Israel interest groups, making him, he's the top recipient. 1.3 million in direct and indirect support.
That's more than some Republicans get, by the way.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. If you are accepting that money because you feel it's going to protect the people of Israel, that's one thing. But if you're taking that money because you're supporting the government of Israel and the war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu and his efforts to starve the people of Gaza and then flatten Gaza so you can turn it into the Atlantic City of the Middle East, that's different. So that would be the distinction I would need to hear from Ron Wyden. Like, you're taking this money, but why?
I wonder what he says. I hope he comes on and talks about it. So, we'll find out.
We were tentatively going to have him on the 21st, but then he released this Epstein files video, and that kind of upset his whole schedule. And so we're also going to have to, this thing with the 15th and the Epstein files. We're going to just have to wait and see. We will get him. He is going to hold a town hall here in my county at some point while he's home for recess. So if nothing else, I can get a remote with him, maybe. But I think he's very much, he and his comms director is a great guy, and we've been in touch. And he definitely wants to get him on the show, because it's not just that the show is great. It's because I'm a constituent and it matters, and
Well, the show is great, but I'm wondering, but
we'll see what happens.
As far as following the money, you know, it is interesting to find out if if he's taking so much money from AIPAC and whatnot, and these pro-Israel groups, if it somehow connects. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, it's important to make the distinction that it's not anti-Semitic to be critical of Israel's government.
No.
That's not anti-Semitic. I just want to make that distinction also. But in other news about you saying calling them on the carpet and Democrats are fighting with one hand tied behind our backs, we are at least seeing pushback against Republicans, and we saw that. Did you see the video? Representative Mike Flood got his ass handed to him repeatedly at his own town hall, and the woman. The one clip that's gone really super viral is that woman who stands up and she goes, "I have a fiscal question." Did you see that one?
I didn't.
Oh, you need to get that one.
Yeah.
You need to pull that one up for the kids, because the kids need to see that one if they haven't seen it yet. She stands up and she's got receipts, and she brought fire to burn down the flood. That's her.
Is that it? Okay.
That's her.
Let's see.
She's awesome. She's a fucking shero.
Fiscal, with $450 million FEMA dollars being reallocated to open Alligator Alcatraz and $600 million taxpayer FEMA dollars being used to now open more concentration camps, and ICE burning through $8.4 million a day to illegally detain people, how much does it cost for fascism? How much do the taxpayers have to pay for a fascist country?
Yeah. What is
My question is fiscal?
What's his response? Damn it.
Republicans don't fund fascism.
Oh, okay.
It was along that kind of response. But it's everywhere.
Whatever we call it. And your view of the facts.
Sorry. I didn't know it was cut off.
I'd like to know how you expect to pay back all of this debt that is going to be layered onto our grandchildren because we're not willing to make our rich part of our society pay their fair share.
So what's interesting about that?
Oh, shit.
Fair question.
Shut the fuck up is what's interesting about that.
Oh, I
Tax
think it's
the rich, eat the rich. And I don't know if you saw Elizabeth Warren was
on CNBC.
On CNBC, and the guy was like, "Oh, taxes," and she was like, "Oh, are you afraid a billionaire's gonna go hungry?" I mean, thank you, Elizabeth Warren. Jesus Christ. I mean, then that's the narrative too. It's like, and we've talked about this before. It's like, how much does one human being actually need?
No, I know. This is the problem.
Right?
Is this the one you're talking about?
Fucking handed him his own ass.
He's a socialist. We don't have a lot of time left. Do you think he's a socialist? He's a self-avowed socialist. Do you think socialism is the correct path to do what you just said
Explain
you want to do
socialism.
for working Americans?
He doesn't understand it at all.
That's what he is. Let's just talk about
for working Americans.
We're the center of the universe for capitalism in New York City. And Wall Street, whether you love it or hate it, I know it has a connotation in certain areas, but it's the financial engine for all the great things that happen in the U.S. in terms of the private sector and raising money for companies. And the stock
Tell him.
Go.
That's where you get the tax money to spend on all these great things.
She's ready. Like, look at her.
Yeah, I know.
You think that's the right thing for New York City?
You don't have to push me. I believe in markets. I love markets. I think markets are fabulous when they're honest markets. As you know, because we've had these discussions before. For example, we need markets with rules. Markets without rules are just theft. And that's part of why we need strong antitrust enforcement. But what our new mayor, I hope will be mayor-elect in New York City, is talking about
Thank you,
is
Senator.
how to make that economy work for families. Where is your outrage over a Republican Party that is saying we want to fund even more tax giveaways to billionaires? We want to make sure that Meta gets a check, if this bill passes, for $15 billion, not for anything they do in the future, but for investments they made 3 years ago.
Wow.
We want to give them a check.
That's
for
nice.
$15 billion.
Wish I could have that.
While we take
I
away
would like
healthcare from
$15 billion.
everyone else, while
We would do
drive up
good
utility
stuff.
costs
Yeah.
for everyone else. That's not how we build a strong economy. You believe
God,
in
I wish I could
markets,
make my mother
then you
watch
should
this, because
believe
my
in
mother is very
participation
anti-Mom
by the
Donnie.
employees, so that they get some of the wealth that they help
That's
create.
right.
And
Yep.
part of that means that through government, we create opportunities, not just for the billionaires, to be able to come in and help build these buildings, but also to the workers who help build them as well. That's
Senator
what
Warren.
this whole fight is about.
But
He's like, but rich white guys,
Yes, but
rich white guys.
it's not enough.
And-
It's
and-
not enough. And it's socialism, and anything that you try to do
Oh, no.
to help average working people, that's too much. You know, you can't. They won't know the dignity of work. Don't you know? And these people who
Coming
have
from people who don't work.
and
Coming
they
from people who inherited their wealth.
exactly and want to live in an intergenerational aristocracy, the likes of which the founders fought a revolution to overthrow. This country is supposed to be the antidote to that kind of kiss up, kick down, concentrated
Correct.
wealth. And we had one time in American history called the Great Prosperity. And of course, the Republicans know nothing about it. They think that we had a middle class because billionaires felt like trickling it on us. But it came because of government policy that promoted the general welfare from the ground up. That's how you do it.
Correct.
And now we
They
have
are not doing that.
exactly. We have in the country. All you have to say is, I wish the Democrats would pick up on this. Say we have a wider income disparity in the United States than they had in ancient Rome. That is
Correct.
filthy and
Correct.
goddamn unacceptable. It really is. You can't have a democracy
really is.
with this kind of income disparity. And we used to be the most upwardly mobile. When I was born, we were the most upwardly mobile. Now we're the least upwardly mobile.
Correct.
It's from Reagan.
Correct.
You could trace it right to Reagan's doorstep, how they started to
Republicans
shift.
are always the problem.
Yes, shift the tax burden from progressive taxation and promoting the general welfare, making sure that people have living wages, retirement security, decent lives, you know, getting fair share of the wages, of the profit that their labor makes possible in the first place. I mean, there was an understanding. I just think that because, you know what it is? It's like we're saying, money and politics and the media. All of this is connected, of course, to the Telecommunications Act of 96, which created Rush Limbaugh, where he instead, so everyone, like my father's generation, they were the beneficiaries of the New Deal. He was a garbage man, you know. He was able to raise 3 kids. My father, my father was a garbage man. My mother worked for the post office after she was a nun. That's another story. I mean, and that's one thing we have in common.
You can talk.
Yeah, I have.
You can talk about that with John Fugelsang
Yes,
on Thursday, because his
exactly.
mom was a nun. My mother, the sister, met my father, the brother.
Right.
By the way, before you go on, since
It's
we
fine.
brought John Fugelsang will be joining us on Thursday on the Tara Show, talking about his new book, Separation of Church and Hate,
And
which is
yeah,
such a
what
great
great
title,
book.
and couldn't be more timely, really. And I've started reading it. He sent me a PDF, so I'm like scrolling through it on the computer, going, and I can hear his voice while I'm reading it because it's so John. So make sure, everybody, that you set a reminder and you're back here on Thursday at the same time, because John Fugelsang will be joining us. But everything that you're saying is stuff that has been an underlying theme of what we've been talking about here all along, right? And this was one of the biggest things. Yeah, and while you're scrolling, can you go to my Twitter? Because I want to end on something that has nothing to do with politics. But one of the things that I was most worried about prior to the election was the way. It's okay. I was one of the things that I was the most worried about was the way that they were going to be able to control the flow of information and where news came from and how it became, like where we are now. And I was worried about somebody controlling the FCC and somebody else controlling the Voice of America. And here we are. And I'm right about that. And so that's something that I also want to be able to talk about with John on Thursday, because it's losing our narrative and not being able to keep scrolling. This isn't what I mean. Yeah.
No, I was just fixing the screen.
That's part of That's part of it. So we have a few minutes left of the show, and I wanted to
keep going.
That's the Up on the Roof lyrics. Keep scrolling, keep going, because I want to end on something that's not politics, because today is a significant anniversary in my life, and we have some people here, and I just wanted to quickly keep going. Oh yeah, I called Nancy Mace. Keep going. I've been busy this morning. Keep going. There. Stop where we are. Okay. Here's my book behind me, The Sound of Settling, a rock and roll love story. And if you don't know anything about my book, it's a rock and roll love story. And it is based on that guy, Dave Grohl, because 24 years ago today, August 5th, 2001, I had won a contest to see the Foo Fighters play an exclusive show at the Troubadour in LA, and I flew down there, and I met people that I'd been talking to on the internet on a post board for 2 years. And this is before social media. We just had a post board where we would gather and chat about the band. And then there was also like a general room where you could just talk about politics and anything else, or life or whatever. And so then they had this contest in August of 2001, and there's 40,000 people registered on the Foo Fighters board at this point, and I'm like, 200 people? I don't like those odds. But anyway, I was one of the people that won. And I flew down there, and I met all these people I had been talking to, and I had a huge crush on Dave Grohl, even though I was married with a 2-year-old. And that's fine, just not even a part of it. But anyway, so we stood online all day, and then we get inside, and I'm right in the front, and everybody knew it was my first Foo Fighters show, and I was very excited. And when girls go to concerts and they look up and they're like, oh my God, the lead singer looked at me. So I look up and, oh my God, the lead singer looked at me. But then he says to me, I know who you are. And I was like, why would you know? Why would you know why would you know who I am? Why and how? What? So for the rest of the show, and it's the bottom right photo where he looks like Tom Green. That's the night we met. That's 2001. That's me and him. So I have an MP3 from that show where he says my name. I'm like, why do you know my name? Why? None of this makes sense. So I got backstage after the show with Jimmy Chamberlain from Smashing Pumpkins. And we go backstage, and Dave is just standing there wearing his shirt that says, I heart the soaps. And I walked up to him like I was a long-lost friend, because that's who I am. I'm just like, hey, Dave. And he gives me this huge hug and says in my ear, oh, Tara, oh, my God, it's so great to finally meet you. And I was like, I'm supposed to say that to you. You're famous. I'm nobody. Who am I? Nobody. I'm some girl on the website who's like, I like Dave's hair like this. I like this song. I like this. I have a child. Like, I'm just like the most boring why. And like, he wouldn't tell me. To this day, I don't know how he found me in the miasma of 40,000 people who are posting, I like Dave's hair like this. This is my favorite song. Like, why me? I don't know. I don't know why me. I don't. To this day, I really don't know. But what I do know is that it was me. And so in that moment, he asked me to go out with him for something. He was like, I want to go get something to eat. Let's go get something to eat. And I couldn't go with him to get something to eat because I was married with a child that I had to fly home to the next morning. And so therefore I said no to Dave Grohl. And now I'm really glad. Nothing ever happened. Nothing ever happened between us, ever. No bodily fluids have ever been exchanged. There was a brief period of time where we had each other's emails, but the man changes his emails like most people change their socks. So those are times that I got to hang out with him at random shows throughout the years. The one in the upper left-hand corner, he kind of pinched me on my side and bit his lip because he cheats on every woman he's ever been with and bad. I'm so glad nothing ever happened between us. But anyway, the whole point being it happened 24 years ago today. And that meet cool inspired my book, The Sound of Settling, a rock and roll love story, which you can buy right now at taradublinrocks.com. And the other half of that story, which I don't really have a whole lot of time to tell, but quickly, it's on my Substack. If you just go to my Substack, I wrote the whole thing. It's called Hell Yeah, I Remember, because that's a Foo Fighters lyric. But I also am pretty much positive that I'm the person who inspired Dave Grohl to write the song Times Like These when the band was about to break up, and they didn't break up. They are still together to this day. And it gave him 20 more years with Taylor Hawkins before Taylor Hawkins died. And it all started because he was in 2002, he was drumming for Queens of the Stone Age, and there was a rumor that Foo Fighters were breaking up and he was only going to be in Queens. And Queens came here to Portland, and I went to the sound check. And after the sound check, we sat down, and all of these people on the Foo Fighters board had messaged me to ask Dave if Foo was breaking up because they wanted to know if they should buy Coachella tickets. And I was like, you must be excited for Coachella. You look like you're having the time of your life. And he's like, oh yeah, are you going? And I'm like, no, I don't camp. And he goes, well, you should go because I'm only excited to be playing with one of my bands. I was like, no, oh my God, no. And eventually he's like, no one's talking to each other. No one wants to rehearse. We all fucking hate each other. And I was like, well, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, we're going to get up there and probably play a bunch of shitty covers and then call it. So you're going to want to be there. And I said, well, if you're going to make me get on a plane and you're going to make me camp, then you have to play a cover of my favorite song. He said, I'll play you any song you want. And he asked me what my favorite song was. And I said, Heroes by David Bowie. And he said immediately, like he was waiting for it, he said, I'll never cover that song. And the reason he wouldn't cover that song is because his friends, the Wallflowers, covered that song for the Godzilla soundtrack back in the late 90s, where he teamed up with Puff Daddy and did that terrible cover of Led Zeppelin's Kashmir. And I'm sure he's not friends with Puff Daddy anymore. At least I'd like to believe he's not friends with Diddy anymore. The whole point being that I said to him, but Dave, I can hear you singing it in my head, and I need you to eradicate Jacob Dylan singing it because it's like they woke him up at 2 o'clock in the morning and put a microphone by his face, and he went, I will be king. And when I met Rami Jaffe a few years later, who was in the Wallflowers, but then became a member of Foo Fighters, he's like, that's exactly how it happened, and I'm sorry. So Dave says, I can't play that song. They'll make fun of me, and I'll never live it down. I was like, all right, fine. If you're going to make me get on a plane and you're going to make me camp, but you're not going to play my favorite song, you need to write me a song that's just as good as Heroes. And if you watch the documentary Back and Forth, which was released in 2011, which is about the Wasting Light album that they recorded with Butch Vig, he talks about writing the song Times Like These in a hotel room in Portland when he's on tour. He just happens to leave out the part where I inspired him. And if you listen to the two songs side by side, you will hear, from Heroes, you hear, I will be king. And then on Times Like These, you hear, I'm a one-way motorway. They are the same fucking song. It's the same song. It is the same goddamn song. And he never would have written Times Like These if I didn't say you have to write me a song that's just as good as Heroes. And you will, if you hear it, play them in a row. Play the intro of Heroes, play a little bit of Heroes, play a little bit of Times Like These. I actually got to tell this story at Low Bar Corral a couple of years ago, and we did right after Taylor Hawkins died. I got to tell the story, and it was on my birthday. And they did a mashup where they did Heroes blending with Times Like These. And then I told the story, and I'm like, now you hear it. And everyone was like, yep. I had 100 people going, yep, I hear it, I hear it. So, point being, 24 years ago today, that guy decided I was someone to mess with and be like, I'm going to mess with you. Because I could tell he enjoyed it. And I'm not saying he's a good person, and I'm not saying he's a bad person, but he is a person.
He's a person, that's true.
He's a person who saw me at a time in my life where I felt invisible. And that's a big part of it. Where I was a doctor's wife and a mom, and that was my lone identity, and no one saw me as the person that I was. And that's why The Sound of Settling, Lila wins a contest to go see her favorite band that she happens to have a crush on the lead singer. She doesn't have a child, but she uses it as a way to leave an unhappy situation. She's unhappily married. She's like, I'm going to go and live my life. And then the lead singer calls her out from the stage, and he's like, I love you. And she's like, oh my God, I love you too. And then they go off together, and at some point she's like, wait a minute. I wasn't going to do this. I wasn't going to follow another man through life. I was going to do my own thing. That is the essence of The Sound of Settling. And there's Foo Fighters Easter eggs all through it. And what's also weird is that I wrote this in 2020, 5 years ago, and I self-published it 2 years ago. Things have happened to Dave Grohl since I wrote this book that are in the book that I created a fiction. Just made it up. But then things happened to him in real life that mirror things that happen in the book. So what I'm saying is, please buy my book. Please buy my book, The Sound of Settling, a rock and roll love story, at TyraDublinRocks.com, because I want to get it to the next level. I want to put out a sequel. I want a real publishing deal, and I want the streaming series that my readers have been demanding, and Ellen Barkin wants to be in it and play the rock star's mom. So that's my story that I don't often get to tell because I'm talking about politics so much. And while I'm still out here fighting for the politics and fighting for the truth, I'm also fighting to get a proper book deal. It's the hardest time probably in recorded history to be promoting anything that brings joy, but it brings joy. It's a great escape for you. And when Devlin writes a book, we'll spend 5 minutes talking about that too.
Fine.
So thank you for just giving
Maybe
me
10
the
minutes,
generosity of time. I'll give you a full 15. I'll give you a whole show. I'll give you anything you want. If I get a proper book deal for The Sound of Settling.
I'll take a role in that movie. Yeah.
I'll give you credit. Everybody I know can be in the movie, and I'm not even kidding. I want so much for this project. I can see it. It's just, it would make people happy and it would give people jobs. That's what I know.
Yeah, that's true.
Please buy it. Please share it. You can get it at tarotdoublenauts.com. If you have a Kindle, it's free with Kindle Unlimited. And it would make me happy, and I will send you a signed book plate and follow you back on social if you buy my book. It's that important to me. And don't forget to be back here with us on Thursday when we have our friend John Fugelsang, and we're going to spend the whole hour talking about his book,
yes,
Separation of Church and Hate, which comes out on September 9th, and you can pre-order now on Amazon. And don't forget to follow us on Substack. She is Tara Buster. I'm Tara Dublin, and we appreciate you. Thank you, Jim, for your moderating.
For being a great moderator. Just being
I know, but I want an M word. I want an M word for alliteration. Mastery. Your moderating mastery. Thank you, Jim. You're our best good friend.
Maestro. Another one.
Maestro. The maestro of chat.
Of all moderators.
The moderating. Yeah. The maestro moderator supreme. We love you and we appreciate you. And everybody go out there and go out there and fight fascism and buy a book, and we'll see you back here on Thursday. We love you.
See you Thursday.
You so much. Woo.